You know, most of us grow up thinking success is this wild horse we have to chase across endless fields. We imagine running, panting, stretching ourselves thin to catch it before it vanishes beyond the horizon. But what if I told you, over a quiet cup of coffee, that it doesn't work that way? Success isn't some wild thing running from us. It's something that is drawn to who we become. It's the byproduct of the energy we carry, the thoughts we entertain, and the actions we dare to repeat. When you stop for a moment and breathe, when you pull back from the frantic race, you start to see it. Success is already orbiting around you, waiting for the right pull, the right gravity, the right you. It's not luck. It's not shortcuts. It's not magic. It's the natural outcome of the person you decide to become every single day, in the quiet hours, in the private decisions, in the way you choose to think and act when nobody is watching. And as we settle into this conversation today, let's put aside the noise of the world that screams urgency and pressure. Let's talk about the real journey, the journey inward, because that's where the roots grow. That's where the real battles are fought and won. Napoleon Hill, one of the wisest minds who ever reflected on this topic, reminded us time and again that success starts not out there but inside. And before we're done, you'll see just how right he was. And maybe, just maybe, you'll start walking a little differently toward the life you've been dreaming about all along. Success begins in the mind. Every achievement you've ever admired, every mountain someone has climbed, every masterpiece painted or symphony composed, started not with some huge external action, but with a single thought, just a fragile whisper in someone's mind, a whisper that could have easily been ignored, dismissed, ridiculed. But it wasn't. That whisper was cherished. It was believed. It was nurtured against all odds. It was protected from the cold winds of doubt and the storms of fear. Success isn't something you hunt down like a prize. It's the harvest of seeds you quietly, diligently plant in your thinking. The mind is the true battlefield, not the market, not the stage, not the bank account. If you lose there, it doesn't matter how much effort you throw into the outside world, you'll be building castles on sand. And if you win there, even if the world doesn't recognize it yet, it's already done. You've already crossed the finish line in the only race that ever really mattered. If you want to change your life, you must first change your mind. If you want bigger results, you must entertain bigger thoughts, truer beliefs, bolder imaginations. The soil of your mind will grow whatever you consistently plant: fear or faith, scarcity or abundance, defeat or victory. And the beautiful thing is, the choice is always yours, quietly, moment by moment, day after day. The energy you carry matters long before you speak a word, before you make a move. Your energy speaks for you. It's like an invisible signal, quietly humming from your chest, received loud and clear by everyone and everything around you. Ever walked into a room and just felt it like you knew who was carrying peace and who was carrying a storm? That's no accident. It's not some mystical force you have no control over. It's the outward projection of your inner life. If you are filled with fear, scarcity, or insecurity, you will unknowingly push away opportunities, repel the very things you say you want. It's not because the world is cruel. It's because the energy you send out tells the world you're not ready to hold what you're asking for. But when you carry yourself with quiet confidence, generosity, a certainty that doesn't scream but whispers, I know who I am. Doors open. People lean in. Opportunities that once felt locked begin to find their way to you. You don't have to chase them down breathlessly. They are drawn to the current you generate. Your energy is either an invitation or a warning. It's either magnetic or repellent. And the beauty is, just like your thoughts, your energy is yours to cultivate. It's built in the small choices, what you focus on when you wake up, how you talk to yourself when things go wrong, the way you carry your hopes, even when the world is still slow to respond. If you want a life filled with abundance, peace, success, start by becoming the person who carries that energy into every room, every conversation, every silent moment you inhabit. Your actions reflect your beliefs. Every move you make, every step you take, is telling the world what you really believe about yourself. Not what you say you believe, what you truly, deeply, viscerally believe in your bones. A person who believes in their worth doesn't walk the same way as someone who doubts they belong. A person who trusts in abundance doesn't approach work relationships, or challenges the same way someone trapped in a scarcity mindset does. Actions are not random. They are the living, breathing extension of the thoughts and convictions you've been harboring, nurturing, allowing to set up camp in your mind. You can't fake it for long. Sooner or later, the real story you believe about yourself seeps into your posture, your choices, your habits, your persistence or lack of it. And here's the kicker. The world is not moved by what you intend to do. It responds to what you actually do. If your actions are timid, scattered, hesitant, it's a signal that you don't really trust the life you're trying to build. If your actions are bold, deliberate, focused, it's because you've already won the battle inside. If you want to change your world, you don't start by pushing harder externally. You start by rewriting the story inside that is currently steering your every move. Water the roots, not just the leaves. Tend to the inner garden, and the outer fruits will take care of themselves. Habits shape the magnet of attraction. It's easy to overlook the power of the small, almost invisible choices we make each day. They don't make headlines. They don't grab attention. But they are the quiet architects shaping the entire landscape of our future. Every habit we reinforce, every tiny decision repeated day after day, is like laying another brick in the foundation of who we are becoming. And that person, the one being carved quietly in the background, is the magnet that either draws success toward them or silently pushes it away. It isn't the grand gestures, the sudden bursts of energy, or the once-in-a-while efforts that change the game. It's the small, consistent practices, the way you start your mornings, the conversations you allow yourself to have, the way you handle small frustrations or unexpected obstacles. These choices are setting your internal compass, building your momentum, strengthening your signal to the world. If you habitually show up late for your own dreams, you send a message to the universe about how seriously you take them. If you consistently honor your commitments, even the small ones, you build a track record of reliability that starts changing how life responds to you. Your habits are not isolated behaviors. They are the brushstrokes on the canvas of your destiny. And every day, whether consciously or not, you are choosing what kind of magnet you are building. Are you becoming a force that naturally attracts success, opportunity, and growth? Or are you letting small negligence, small doubts, small laziness accumulate into a gravitational pull that repels the very things you say you want? Success isn't something that arrives suddenly at your doorstep. It's something that feels safe to approach when your character has been consistently prepared to hold it. And it all starts, not with a dramatic event, but with the humblest of habits, repeated quietly, faithfully, even when nobody else is looking. The power of clear vision. There's something quietly terrifying about wandering without a map, about drifting through days, weeks, even years, hoping that somehow, somewhere, you'll stumble into the life you were meant to live. But life doesn't work that way. It never has. Without a clear vision, you're not on a journey, you're just floating. You're hoping luck will bless your path. But luck rarely visits those who don't even know what door they want it to knock on. Napoleon Hill captured this truth beautifully when he said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But there's a key hidden in that statement. First, you must conceive it. You must be able to see it so clearly that it becomes a living, breathing thing inside you. You must picture it in detail, the sights, the sounds, the emotions of it until it stops being a dream and starts feeling like an inevitable chapter of your story. People who drift wait for opportunities to define them. People with vision define the opportunities they seek. When you walk with clarity, the world moves differently around you. Resources align. People notice. Doors crack open that once seemed locked shut. Not because you're lucky, but because clarity carries an energy that cuts through noise and confusion. It tells the universe and yourself that you know where you're going. And knowing where you're going is half the battle. So don't leave it to chance. Take time to sit with yourself, to dream deliberately, to craft a vision so vivid it pulls you forward even when motivation runs dry. Success honors the prepared, and preparation begins with seeing clearly the life you are determined to build. Resilience, your unseen armor. Some people think success is about never falling, about always making the right move, always winning every hand. But real success, the kind that endures, is forged in the countless moments when everything inside you screams to quit. And yet, somehow you find the strength to rise again. Resilience is not glamorous. It doesn't come with fireworks or applause. It's built in the unseen hours, in the lonely nights, in the stubborn moments when you choose to believe in your dream, even after life hands you another bruising setback. Every fall you endure, every rejection you survive, every failure you outlast is another piece of armor being added to your spirit. Failure isn't the enemy. Quitting is. The ones who make it aren't necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or even the fastest. They're the ones who decided that falling down was never going to be the end of their story. They're the ones who refused to let a bad chapter define the entire book. They're the ones who kept getting back up, sometimes battered, sometimes doubting, but never defeated. Life will ask you again and again, through setbacks and disappointments, how badly you want what you say you want. And your answer won't be in your words, it will be in your resilience. It will be in your ability to lace up your shoes after another rough day and take another step forward. Strength isn't measured by how easy the journey is, it's measured by how unshakable your determination remains when things get hard. And if you can learn to see every fall not as a defeat, but as a strengthening, you'll realize you were never losing, you were training. Faith over fear. There will be days when everything you touch seems to crumble, when every plan feels like it backfires, when the silence from the world feels deafening. Doubt will come knocking, and it will be persuasive. It will whisper that you're wasting your time. It will suggest that you should lower your standards, shrink your dreams, settle for less. Faith isn't about ignoring those feelings or pretending that everything is perfect. Faith is about looking those fears straight in the eye and choosing to keep moving anyway. It's about believing that even when the road is invisible, even when the evidence is thin, the destination still exists. Faith is betting on yourself when the scoreboard says you're losing. Faith is remembering that your current circumstances are not the final chapter, and the most important battles are won, not when everything is going well, but when everything is going wrong and you refuse to give up hope. It's easy to have faith when the sun is shining. It's a real achievement to have faith in the middle of a storm, betting on yourself again and again, even when the odds seem grim. Even when fear has built a convincing case, that's where real champions are made. And over time, something miraculous happens. The storms lose their power, the doubts lose their grip, and what remains is a steady, unshakable confidence that not even the fiercest winds can break. Faith isn't pretending you won't face hard days. It's knowing you are bigger than anything those days can throw at you. Desire, the eternal spark without desire. The whole machinery of ambition falls apart. Without that burning why, effort dries up, dreams turn gray, and the long roads we must walk seem endless and unbearable. It's easy to start something new when excitement is fresh, when the air is buzzing with possibility. But when the days stretch on and progress feels slow, when the nights get colder and doubts start gnawing at the corners of your heart, that's when desire becomes everything. It's that flame inside you, stubborn and alive, refusing to be put out by tiredness or setbacks or slow seasons. It's the reason you pull yourself out of bed when the easier choice is to quit. It's the invisible fuel that powers the extra hours, the extra mile, the extra leap of faith no one else sees. Without that fire inside, even the best strategies and the clearest plans become hollow. Desire is what lights the fires you need to walk through the winters of your journey, the seasons when everything around you seems dead and silent, but inside you, life still burns strong. It's not always loud. Sometimes, it's just a quiet but steady pulse reminding you, this matters. You matter. Your dreams matter. And they are worth every ounce of discomfort it takes to reach them. You don't need to scream about your desires to the world, but you do need to honor them. You do need to protect them from the cold cynicism of others and the slow creep of your own doubts. That eternal spark once truly lit is enough to carry you through any darkness, as long as you remember to feed it. Discipline, love in action. When we talk about self-love, it's tempting to imagine cozy evenings and treating ourselves to little luxuries. And sure, those moments are beautiful and necessary. But real self-love, the kind that changes your life, is much tougher, much quieter, much deeper. Real self-love is discipline. It's choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's doing the hard, often thankless things even when every part of you wants to take the easy way out. Discipline is not a punishment. It's an act of devotion to your future self. It's standing guard at the door of your potential and saying, "Not today," to every excuse, every distraction, every tempting shortcut that threatens to pull you away from the life you deserve. When you choose discipline, you are telling yourself that your dreams matter. You are proving, one hard choice at a time, that you are trustworthy, dependable, someone who honors their word even to themselves. And over time, every small disciplined act adds up. Every morning you rise early to work on your dream. Every hour you dedicate when no one is clapping for you. Every sacrifice you make when comfort beckons you to stay small. They build something unshakable inside you, self-respect. And from self-respect, all other victories grow. Discipline isn't a burden you carry. It's a gift you give yourself. It's the most beautiful love letter you can write to the person you are becoming, the person who will someday look back and thank you for not giving up when it would have been so easy to. Stop chasing. Start growing. Chasing success is one of the quickest ways to guarantee it keeps slipping further out of reach. It's a cruel trick of the universe. The more desperately you grasp for it, the faster it seems to run. And when you're constantly chasing, you're telling the world and yourself that what you seek is still separate from you, still unattainable. But when you turn inward, when you shift your focus from external outcomes to internal evolution, everything changes. Success is not a trophy at the end of a race. It's the natural result of who you become along the journey. When you grow your skills, sharpen your character, expand your patience, deepen your courage, success finds you. You don't need to sprint breathlessly toward it. You become a living, breathing magnet for the life you want. Growth is the work. Success is just the echo, the applause that comes long after the quiet hours of work, the invisible battles fought and won in private. If you spend your life chasing, you will exhaust yourself. But if you dedicate yourself to becoming wiser, stronger, braver, then success has no choice but to meet you. It's not about running faster. It's about growing deeper roots. Because when you are firmly rooted, storms may come, winds may howl, but you will stand tall and everything you need will find its way to you, drawn by the strength of who you've become. Comfort zones are death traps. Comfort feels safe. It feels warm. It feels reassuring. But comfort, left unchecked, is a velvet prison. It lulls you into a gentle sleep while your dreams slip quietly out the back door. The dreams you crave, the goals you say you want, the future you imagine for yourself, they're not sitting in the middle of your comfort zone. They're out there, just beyond the edges of what feels safe and familiar. They're waiting for you to get uncomfortable enough to come claim them. Every extraordinary life is built by ordinary people willing to tolerate extraordinary discomfort. Growth never happens inside the cozy walls of certainty. It happens when you step out into the unknown, when you risk looking foolish, when you stumble and scrape your knees but get up anyway. The comfort zone will lie to you. It will tell you that you're fine where you are. It will whisper that you don't need to stretch, don't need to risk, don't need to want so much. But deep down, you know better. Deep down, there's a part of you that's restless, unsatisfied, whispering that you were made for more. That part is right. The life you dream of is real, but it's hiding just past the boundary of your current comfort. And it will stay there until you decide that staying the same is more painful than daring to grow. Growth begins where comfort ends. And every step you take into discomfort is a step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. Courage is acting before you're ready. Nobody ever truly feels ready. That's one of the biggest myths we tell ourselves, that there will come a day when everything lines up perfectly, when we feel completely confident, totally prepared, and utterly fearless. But that day never really arrives. Waiting for readiness is like waiting for the wind to blow exactly the way you want before you set sail. It's a beautiful idea, but it leaves you stranded at the dock. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is deciding that your dream matters more than your fear. It's standing at the edge of uncertainty, feeling the tremble in your hands, the racing in your heart, and choosing to step forward anyway. Every person who has ever achieved something great once stood where you stand, uncertain, unprepared, afraid. They moved not because they were ready, but because they were willing. Willing to trust themselves, willing to bet on the possibility that they could figure it out along the way. And here's the truth. You will never regret betting on your own bravery. You will never look back and wish you had waited longer to chase your dream. But you might look back and ache for the time you lost hesitating. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built one shaky, courageous step at a time. And every time you choose courage over comfort, you reinforce a belief in yourself that no setback can take away. Readiness isn't what gets you there. Courage is. And the beautiful irony is, with every act of courage, you actually become ready, not before the step, but because of it. The quiet strength of patience. In a world obsessed with speed and instant results, patience feels almost rebellious. It's not glamorous. It doesn't come with instant applause or quick rewards. But patience is where true power lives. Napoleon Hill once said, "Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success." And he was right. Growth, real, meaningful growth, takes time. It's the work you put in day after day, even when you see no immediate results, that quietly shapes your future. It's the seeds you plant now, often buried deep beneath the soil of routine and repetition, that one day burst into the harvest you've been dreaming of. The hard part is trusting the process when the evidence of progress is invisible. It's believing in the unseen. It's showing up with the same energy on the days when everything feels stagnant as you do on the days when the wins are obvious. Patience isn't passive, it's active faith. It's doing your part, tending your garden, watering your dreams, even when the world around you seems silent and still. And often, it's right when we are about to give up that the first green shoots start to break through. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they quit too soon. They dig up their seeds before they have a chance to grow. But if you can hold on, if you can keep showing up, if you can trust that today's unseen effort is tomorrow's visible success, you tap into a quiet strength that very few ever discover. Patience is not waiting idly. It is persisting wisely. It's the art of building something so strong and real that when the results finally arrive, they were inevitable all along. Consistency, the real magic trick. It's easy to get excited about big moments, the promotions, the breakthroughs, the celebrations. But the truth is, those big moments are built on the backs of hundreds, sometimes thousands, of small, quiet days where nobody was watching, and nothing seemed impressive. Consistency is the real magic trick, the secret ingredient behind every so-called overnight success. It's the decision to show up, to do the work, to honor the process. Not once, but every single day, especially when motivation fades and excitement cools. Big moments get the applause, sure, but it's the boring, relentless, often invisible daily work that builds empires. It's the 5 a.m. alarms when the world is still sleeping. It's the extra hours spent refining your craft when you'd rather relax. It's saying no to distractions, yes to discipline, and pouring your effort into your dreams even when results seem 1,000 miles away. Consistency doesn't scream, it doesn't demand attention, but over time, it moves mountains. Because consistency compounds. Every small action, every daily repetition, every little bit of momentum gathers force until one day, the world notices. One day, what once felt impossible now feels inevitable. And people might call you lucky or blessed or gifted, but you'll know the truth. You'll know it was built brick by brick, day by day, with quiet, stubborn consistency. So when the journey feels slow, when the progress feels invisible, remember, you're not failing, you're building. And one day, you'll look back and realize that it was never the grand gestures that changed your life. It was the steady heartbeat of your commitment, pounding quietly through every ordinary day. Focus is your superpower. In a world that seems designed to shatter your attention into 1,000 tiny fragments, focus has become nothing short of a superpower. Everywhere you turn, something is screaming for your attention, notifications lighting up your screen, headlines tugging at your emotions, endless distractions whispering for just a little bit of your precious energy. But the truth is, your future isn't shaped by what you glance at. It's shaped by what you focus on. To focus today is to rebel against the chaos. It's to say, with quiet defiance, I will choose what deserves my energy, and I will refuse to feed everything that doesn't. Focus is the conscious act of drawing a circle around what matters most and pouring yourself into it without apology, without dilution, without surrendering to the constant noise. It's choosing depth over breadth, mastery over mediocrity, building roots instead of scattering seeds to every passing breeze. And here's the thing, the more you focus, the more you train your mind to hold itself steady against the currents of distraction. It doesn't happen instantly. It's a muscle you build, rep by rep, day by day, moment by difficult moment, when every shiny thing tries to pull you away. But if you persist, you begin to notice something extraordinary. The things you focus on start to flourish. The skills you practice begin to sharpen. The dreams you water with your undivided attention begin to grow strong and real and undeniable. Your future self, the one living the life you dream about, is depending on your focus today. Because every minute you dedicate, every hour you guard fiercely, is a down payment on the life you're building. Focus is not just about achieving more, it's about becoming more. It's about respecting your own potential enough to fight for it, even when the world tries to pull you in every direction but forward. Success will start finding you. Something strange and wonderful happens when you shift your energy away from chasing outcomes and instead invest it fully into sharpening yourself. As you grow your mind, discipline your habits, and cultivate your character, success, which once felt like it was always just beyond your reach, begins to move toward you. Not because luck has suddenly favored you, not because some magical twist of fate has intervened, but because the energy you've built inside has become impossible to ignore. The right people start appearing. The right opportunities begin to surface. The doors that once seemed sealed shut now creak open with surprising ease. It's not a coincidence. It's not an accident. It's the law of attraction at its most profound level, not some vague wishful thinking, but the real physics of human energy and human effort. The universe, and the people in it, are constantly scanning for signals. When you broadcast clarity, discipline, and deep self-belief, others notice, often without even realizing why. They feel drawn to you. They want to work with you, invest in you, walk alongside you. Success begins to find you because you've made yourself into someone who can sustain it, who can honor it, who can multiply it. And perhaps the most beautiful part of it all is that by the time success shows up, you're not desperate for it anymore. You're not clinging to it as your validation. You're welcoming it as a partner in the journey you've already been traveling with full heart and steady hands. True success is not something you pursue with frantic energy. It's something you attract quietly, steadily, naturally. By becoming the kind of person success is proud to stand beside, you become the magnet. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Napoleon Hill taught us, but desire alone is not enough. It's merely the ignition, the spark that sets the journey in motion. What transforms desire into reality is who you become in the process. When you pour yourself into growth, not sporadically, but relentlessly, something incredible happens. You stop wishing for success and start embodying it. You stop chasing after validation and start radiating the kind of energy that draws everything you need toward you. You become a living magnet, not because you forced the world to give you what you wanted, but because you evolved into someone who naturally attracts it. Think about it. A strong tree doesn't chase the sunlight. It grows tall enough, rooted enough, resilient enough that the sunlight finds it. In the same way, when you invest daily into your skills, your character, your vision, you rise into a space where success simply fits into your life without chaos or desperation. It recognizes you. It trusts you. It belongs with you. This transformation isn't loud or showy. It's gradual, often invisible to others at first, built moment by quiet moment, decision by disciplined decision. And then, one day, the world notices. One day, the opportunities align. One day, it all starts to flow. Not because the world changed, but because you did. The magnet isn't some trick. It's not some secret code. It's the inevitable gravitational pull created by a life lived with intention, courage, patience, and a relentless commitment to becoming the very best version of yourself. Success cannot stay away from the one who becomes its natural home. You are always enough. It's easy to spend a lifetime chasing validation, thinking that success will finally silence the doubts that reaching some distant milestone will finally prove we are worthy. But the truth is far simpler and far more beautiful. Success isn't about proving your worth to anyone. It's about discovering what was always inside you, patiently waiting for you to notice. The potential was never missing. The strength, the courage, the brilliance, they weren't things you had to acquire from somewhere outside. They were seeds already planted deep within you, long before the world told you otherwise. The journey, the hard work, the discipline, the growth, they're not about adding something artificial to who you are. They're about stripping away the fear, the doubt, the layers of falsehood that life and experience may have piled on you. They're about uncovering the original masterpiece that was always there beneath the noise. The process of chasing a dream, facing failures, standing back up again, it doesn't build your worth. It reveals it. It's the chisel that shapes the sculpture already hidden inside the stone. Every trial, every moment of persistence, every act of courage isn't making you enough. It's reminding you that you were always enough. You didn't need to earn your value. You only needed to believe in it, to act in alignment with it, to trust that the spark that first led you to dream was not foolishness, it was truth. When you look back someday, you won't marvel at how you became someone new. You'll marvel at how you finally returned to yourself, at how you finally believed what was true all along. Keep growing. Keep becoming. There's a quiet joy that settles over your soul when you realize the chase is over, when you stop running towards some external prize and start walking steadily, faithfully, toward a deeper version of yourself. Growth is no longer a burden or a punishment. It becomes the destination itself, the art of continuous becoming. You realize that the reward is not the title, not the trophy, not the applause. It's the person you become along the way. It's the strength you build in the struggle, the wisdom you gain in the waiting, the compassion you learn through your own bruises and failures. The journey transforms you, layer by layer, moment by moment, into someone richer, deeper, and infinitely more capable of carrying the life you've dreamed of. And the best part, there is no finish line. There's no point where you have to stop and say, "This is it. I'm done." You get to keep refining, keep reaching, keep believing in the extraordinary, quiet power of your own transformation. You are a work in progress, and that is not a flaw. It is the most beautiful truth about you. So keep growing, keep becoming, keep waking up every morning willing to take one more step into the unknown, one more leap of faith, one more act of courage, not because you are lacking, but because you are alive, because you have within you an endless reservoir of possibility, because every day you choose growth is another day you honor the incredible, unstoppable force that you truly are. Conclusion. So here we are, old friends across the coffee table of dreams, no longer running breathlessly after some fleeting prize, no longer measuring ourselves against the impossible yardsticks the world tries to hand us. We sit here quietly, comfortably, knowing now that everything we seek is not out there. It's already within us, waiting patiently for our belief, our commitment, our courage to bring it forth. Every thought we nurture, every habit we build, every act of faith we choose, they are quietly weaving the future we seek, stitch by steady stitch. There's no desperation here anymore, only the steady pulse of trust. Trust that the seeds we plant today will one day become the gardens we walk through tomorrow. Trust that the character we build in the silent hours will one day shine brighter than any fleeting success. And as we sit here, we remember the wisdom of Napoleon Hill, a man whose words have lit the way for millions, not by shouting at them to run faster, but by whispering to them to become stronger. His voice echoes gently through the years, reminding us that success isn't something we chase. It's something we attract by who we become. So, let's carry that wisdom in our steps. Let's honor the journey, the struggle, the quiet victories. Let's remember that we don't have to become someone else to be worthy. We only have to become who we were always meant to be. Success isn't out there to catch. It's right here to cultivate. And you, my friend, you're more than ready. You always have been. You simply had to see it for yourself.